What's up, everybody? Today we're diving into all the leaked set photos and videos from James Gunn's Superman and breaking down everything we know so far. From the Daily Planet crew caught in the middle of a Metropolis battle to an epic showdown between Superman, Ultraman, and the Engineer. We're piecing it all together like one big Superman puzzle to give you the lowdown on what to expect from Superman's next big screen appearance. And just a heads up, there might be spoilers ahead. But before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. We start things off with our first look at Clark Kent, Superman's alter ego, played by David Cornsweet. He sports a bushy, curly hairstyle, wears thick glasses, and a plain business suit. Clark carries a vintage leather briefcase in one hand while holding a copy of the Daily Planet and a cup of coffee in the other. What stands out the most in this scene is just how flustered and awkward Clark looks. He's pushing his way through a busy crowd, almost spilling his coffee in the process. He's definitely giving off an awkward vibe, similar to that of Christopher Reeve's portrayal of the character. It's this very human, relatable quality that really brings the character to life, and Cornsweet's take is definitely a fresh spin on the disguise. I'm really interested to see how James Gunn fits Clark Kent into the larger Superman story. Next, we get a glimpse of the Daily Planet staff in action. Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White, along with the Daily Planet's gossip columnist Kat Grant and sports columnist Steve Lombard, can be seen exiting Mr. Terrific's ship. As we know, Mr. Terrific is an incredibly intelligent superhero, and his ship, which is shaped like one of his T-spears, seems to have played a major role in rescuing the crew from an attack. This could be during or after a battle in Metropolis. Either way, the Daily Planet's team looks to be caught right in the middle of the action. Having just exited Mr. Terrific's ship, we see Lois Lane and Superman meet on the battle-scarred streets of Metropolis. Lois, played by Rachel Brosnahan, looks thrilled to see him, and it's clear that even amongst all the destruction, their bond remains strong. With a heavy military and fire rescue presence in the background, we can see that Metropolis is in the midst of a major crisis, and Superman's presence offers some hope. It's also nice to see Lois Lane and Superman together in the same scene. And from these shots alone, it appears to me that David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan really do have chemistry on screen. Speaking of chemistry, in this next clip, we see a flight with Superman and Lois Lane. Stunt doubles show us what might be an iconic moment with the couple floating through the air. It's a romantic scene, and this could be one of those classic parts of the film that some fans have been eagerly waiting for. Here we get our first and only look at Nicholas Hoult, completely bald, stepping into the iconic role of the infamous villain Lex Luthor. What's interesting here is the visible cuts on his head, which suggests that Lex has been in a fight. You have to wonder, are these wounds the result of a confrontation with Superman, or does he get caught in the crossfire during the destruction in Metropolis? Regardless of how he got them, you can bet that Lex Luthor is intimately involved in the chaos and destruction that's unfolding. Next, we see Superman and Mr. Terrific together on the streets of Metropolis. We can see damage in the background. The military is visibly present, indicating that the situation has escalated beyond the reach of just local authorities. This scene looks like it takes place after a massive attack, likely involving the major three threats: Lex Luthor, the Engineer, and Ultraman. In some shots, we can see Superman and Mr. Terrific, played by Eddie Gathegi, strategizing amid the chaos. The contrast between Superman's raw power and Mr. Terrific's brilliant mind creates an intriguing dynamic. While Superman is undoubtedly the symbol of hope, his approach to saving the city might be more direct, using his strength to tackle the immediate threats. Meanwhile, Mr. Terrific, who's known for his intellect and technological prowess, could be the one analyzing the bigger picture, looking for ways to stop the destruction and neutralize the villains that are still wreaking havoc. Their partnership here seems crucial, as they might be coordinating efforts to protect Metropolis from further damage, or even trying to figure out their next move. Here we get some shots of Superman seemingly defeated and handcuffed, being led down the street. The Engineer, played by Maria Gabrielle de Fara, and Ultraman, two of the movie's main antagonists, along with Rick Flag Sr., played by Frank Grillo, are seen here walking alongside what looks like the National Guard. In the video, Ultraman detains a fallen Superman and the group marches down the street. Superman is definitely outnumbered. At first glance, it seems like he's been completely overpowered. But there's still the possibility that Superman is just choosing to cooperate for the greater good, to try and prevent further destruction. What I really like about James Gunn's depiction of Superman is how he's tapped into the heart of the hero's character. It's not just about fighting villains or showing off his incredible strength. It's about being there for the people, doing whatever it takes to protect them, no matter the cost to himself. In a more lighthearted moment, we see Mr. Terrific attempting to deal with what will be an unruly Crypto the Superdog, who might have gotten into a bit of trouble breaking into a pet store. Mr. Terrific uses some dog treats to coax Crypto to fly away, but who knows what kind of trouble the lovable canine will get into next. It's fun knowing Crypto will be a character in the film, and I have a feeling that if James Gunn gets this right, like he did with Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy, Crypto might just steal the movie. Next, we have a moment that fans of Superman's golden age will absolutely love, a Max Fleischer-inspired shot of Superman getting ready to leap into action. He crouches down, ready to launch into the sky. This shot is definitely a nod to the animated Superman shorts that were so iconic back in the day. It's exciting to see a classic homage in a modern live-action film. Now here's an interesting scene, Superman flying through the air suspended by a harness, swooping down towards a squirrel. If you're wondering what's going on here, you're not alone. This could be Chipped, the Green Lantern squirrel, or perhaps just a fun moment showing Superman's kindness to all creatures. Either way, it could be an interesting and fun addition to the film. In a heroic moment, Superman is seen saving a little girl. He swoops in, wrapping his arms around her to shield her from the blast of an exploding truck. But the action doesn't stop there. In the next shot, Superman seemingly catches a large piece of falling debris, likely from a nearby building that's been caught in the aftermath of the destruction. It's a classic Superman save, doing whatever it takes to protect the innocent, and it looks like Superman will be just as selfless and courageous as he is in the comics. Next, we see the aftermath of a devastating blow. Superman, possibly struck by Ultraman or the Engineer, lies inside a crater in the ground. His body is partially buried in the wake of the impact under debris, with dirt and chunks of brick scattered around him, evidence of just how brutal the fight must have been. Around him, a large crowd of onlookers gather, their faces a mixture of awe and fear and uncertainty. They anxiously circle around him, hesitant to approach as they watch to see if he'll recover. Here we see a battle-damaged Superman in the middle of the street, surrounded by angry citizens. It's clear that the destruction in Metropolis is taking its toll. Superman may be facing some backlash from the people he's sworn to protect. The shot suggests that he's under attack, and the citizens of Metropolis are paying the price. We see Superman run off to continue the fight. Action intensifies inside of a stadium, where the battle reaches new heights. We see Mr. Terrific and Ultraman clashing high above the stadium, locked in a fierce struggle. Both fighters fall from the sky, crashing into the field with an explosive impact. But the fight doesn't stop there. Ultraman and the Engineer double-team Superman, overwhelming him with their combined strength. Ultraman, seemingly on equal footing with Superman, tosses the Man of Steel around like a rag doll. His immense strength makes Superman look almost powerless in comparison. The Engineer is also using her powers. We watch as she lands crushing blow after blow on him, sending them both skidding across the field. It's clear that she's a force to be reckoned with. Together, Ultraman and the Engineer circle Superman, closing in on him from all sides. He looks defeated by the sheer force of these two villains. It's crazy to see the world's greatest superhero brought to his knees in the midst of the battle. Superman, usually so invincible, now looks overwhelmed and vulnerable. He suddenly flies away, likely retreating to recover his powers and regroup. This sequence stands out as one of the most intense moments we've seen so far, which showcases just how formidable Ultraman and the Engineer are truly going to be. Finally, we see a triumphant moment. Superman and Green Lantern Guy Gardner, played by Nathan Fillion, stand together in an open field. Hawkgirl, played by Isabella Merced, and Mr. Terrific, who appears to be using a mech suit with a jetpack, fly in to join them. As the heroes gather, the citizens of Metropolis walk toward them, clearly grateful for their help. In a heartwarming moment, a group of kids rush to hug Superman, as the crowd show their appreciation to the heroes. And that wraps up this breakdown. So tell me, what do you think about all the leaked set photos and videos from James Gunn's Superman? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below because I really want to know what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Cinema Maverick channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.